one aim that every human has on this planet is to have a good quality of life and standard of living, and nothing wrong with this aim. To achieve this better standard or high standard of living, our emphasis has been largely to improve the outer world. That is, improve our gadgets and computers, and cars can go faster, and houses can be better, jobs can be better, more wealth, better relationships. And all of this is essential. But what is given very little importance in the society and in our education system is the inner life. How do we respond to the situation outside? What is going on in the mind? Apart from few psychoanalysts and psychotherapists, very little effort is made to educate the people in this field. Even these basic questions are not there, and the subjects are not taught. But this inner life is what we experience all the time and can reduce the quality of life in a big way. A person may have gold everywhere around him, living in a castle, but if there is no understanding of the inner dynamics, he can lead a life of anxiety or depression, and it can go anywhere. And so some effort made to understand this, just the basics, can reward us in a nice way. And then the mind that is healthy and the inner life is rich, he will automatically be more efficient to improve the outer life as well. A simple model to explain what is going on is seeing this whole of this outer world as a small box. Imagine a box, and that represents the entire universe, physical universe, and in our language, outer world. And what is the nature of this box? What is happening inside that is relevant to us? That box is unpredictable. We don't know what is to happen to it next minute. Change is a law in that box. Things are changing in front of us. End is a law. Everything comes to an end and new things start. Just like if you go to a garden, the flowers come, then those flowers go. They begin to wilt, they disappear. New flowers come. That is a law of this outer world. In such a world, if one creates even the slightest attachment, then there is guaranteed sorrow. It is a direct connection. The world that is changing, world that is ending, world that is unpredictable. And I go and create even an expectation of some kind. That is the beginning of attachment. I start to believe that I want something, I own something. All the different levels of attachments. Then sorrow is guaranteed. At present, we are busy creating attachments and more attachments in that box. And so, no surprise, we have become complete slaves to this outer world. And a slave cannot have a high standard of living. In this case, we are so dependent on this world that is changing. And since the world, this outer world, is unpredictable, every attachment creates anxiety. Instantly, it creates anxiety, and sooner or later will create disappointment, loss, feeling of loss, fear of loss. We have an option. We can be in that box, but we can go there as an observer. The only right option in this scenario is be an observer. If I go in the garden, I see these flowers coming, flowers going. It doesn't give me sorrow if I am the observer, a detached observer. More like a guest. He doesn't own anything and is sensible that he is there for a short time and doesn't create any expectations, watches things. Then he is not getting caught in that box. This attitude of the observer, we call it a state of detached involvement. Nothing wrong in being involved in the box. You are very much in the box. It is a bit like you come into a house, but you know you are a guest there. You may be using things in the house, but you don't own anything. You don't create any attachments to anything. And you leave the house and you feel you have not lost anything. This is an example of detached involvement. By the word detached, we mean free. We don't mean any less love or less interest. A guest may be very interested, but is sensible. And what is his wisdom? Guest knows the time of exit. Guest knows that he has an exit. If a guest comes and forgets that he has an exit, then it becomes as if he feels justified to behave like a host, to create attachments, to begin to own things, or believe he owns things. But the reality is the thing he will have to face sooner or later. In this case, everyone has an exit. Whether we like it or not, the change and the end is guaranteed. And every time we forget we have the exit and go in the direction of attachments and expectations, we invite these feelings of loss, feelings of the slave, subservience to the outer world.